Hi, everybody. Karma's back with episode 55 of My Life Stories. Thank you to all my viewers and subscribers for hanging in there with me. You're the reason I keep going. And if you're a new viewer, please consider subscribing to my channel. Please take a moment to go ahead and hit the thumbs up button so you don't forget to do it later, and listen to my playlist whenever you have a chance. Today's video has been sponsored by Pop's Trading Post. A link to Pop's Trading Post has been listed below. Today's story is about friendship and how sometimes we lose track of the people that are meaningful in our lives. The name of today's story is A Friend Indeed. Years ago, when I was in the throes of the worst time of my life, I met someone who I will call Sasha. She was an awesome lady and worked at the same place where I had found a job. She had a friend that she would chill with who I will call Claire. They always came to work together in Sasha's little gold Fiero. I was the new kid. I had moved to their state because I was unable to live in the same state as my soon-to-be ex. I was attracted to Sasha, who was confident and had a sunny disposition. I asked her for a ride to work because I wanted to be included in Sasha and Claire's world. But Sasha said that her Fiero was a two-seater and she was picking up Claire, so I was sadly disappointed. I had no car, and I had to depend on rides to get to work. I had a boyfriend, but as I was to find out the hard way, he was totally useless. He brought me to work, and as he dropped me off, I reminded him that I needed for him to pick me up at 11 p.m. when I got off. He said he would be back then, and not to give it a second thought. I had no phone at this time, so I lulled myself into believing that he would be there for me. I mean, he was my boyfriend, right? Work was work, but Sasha always made it fun. A little after 11 p.m., Sasha and Claire left with everyone else. I waited for my boyfriend to come and get me. We had been doing an inventory at a warehouse in an industrial center, and it was not near any convenience store and in the middle of nowhere. At close to midnight, the security guard asked me if I would be all right because he was leaving for the night. I told him that my ride was just going to be a little longer and I would leave as well. He turned off all the lights, so I was left outside in an industrial center by myself in the dark. I spent 3 of the most terrifying hours of my life out there praying I wouldn't get hurt or worse. I was afraid to go anywhere other than where I was because I was afraid I would miss my boyfriend and he would leave without me. He had done this to me before. I was terrified that something would happen to me and no one would ever be the wiser. After 3 a.m., he finally showed up to pick me up. I was shivering because I was cold and I had not bought a jacket with me, and I was traumatized. So much so that even recalling this particular incident made me start to panic again. I wouldn't give up on Sasha, though, and I kept trying to befriend her. Sasha and Claire had a falling out, and Claire wound up quitting her job to avoid running into Sasha. Somehow Sasha and I gravitated towards each other. I found out that for all her confidence and bravado, Sasha was going through a lot of issues too. We bonded over our misfortunes, and I was so happy that she had entered my life. We were good to and for each other, and had a series of adventures that I still laugh about to this day. Sasha was my go-to friend. She was always there for me, and I supported her as best as I could. She was my friend when I had nothing, and I will always be grateful to her for everything she did for me. I wound up getting married to the light of my life, Richard, and Sasha married her longtime love, John. Richard and I wound up moving back home. We were both from X state. I lost a baby. I I went through the trauma of losing my mother, and then Richard lost his father. My father followed suit, and then Richard's mother. It seemed as if every time we turned around, someone close to us would die. This caused me to derail quite a bit. I don't know that I would have survived without Richard, but I do know that all these deaths affected me to a point where I withdrew from the people in my life, and sadly, I lost touch with Sasha. The years went by, and I never really forgot Sasha. Even during the painful periods of my life, I would talk to her as if she were there for me like she always was. The years went by, and I wondered about my friend and prayed for her every night, that she was safe from harm, and most of all, that she was happy. I started to look for her. I decided that she probably did not live in the same house as before, and I Googled, I looked for her on Facebook. I never had any luck. Most of the times I would run into someone who had the same name or a similar name, and I would message them. Sometimes I would get a message back that they were not the person that I was looking for. I kicked myself for losing track of her. Then, the other day, I got a voicemail that made me stop dead in my tracks. Hi, this is Sasha. My cell number is 555-555-5555. I'm glad to see that you guys are doing fantastic. I know it's been a really long time since we talked, and I hope this is still your phone number. Otherwise, I'm talking to a stranger. Okay? Give me a call when you get the time. Bye. And then, hi, I figured I'd try to call you one more time. I keep forgetting how much time difference there is between my state and your state. Okay? Call me when you get a chance if you get these messages. Bye. I felt as though I had been doused with ice-cold water. It wasn't possible, was it? Sasha found me when I was the one looking for her? I listened to the messages over and over. It's her, my brain screamed, but I was disbelieving. I work crazy hours at my current job. So does Richard. When he got home, he casually asked me if I had gotten a message from Sasha. Sasha who? I questioned him, and he simply said, your friend Sasha. I immediately texted her the next day that my only day off would be on Sunday and asked if we could talk then, and she answered that Sunday would be great. I'll never forget the rush of feelings that I got when I talked to my friend again. It was like she had been there all along. She said she had been looking for me too and happened to find my husband first. She sent him a message and he had forwarded my phone number to her. We talked like we always did, like the years meant nothing, and we were both those beautiful 30-year-old girls again. I was on my way to the store and had to cut our conversation short and asked her if I could call her later. She said I could call her any time. I got home and cried. I don't exactly know why. Maybe because I had missed her and had been searching for her for so long, and this just feels like a miracle. Or maybe I was just happy to find my friend again. She was the same as always, cheerful and forthcoming, the same as I had always loved her. And it had been almost 20 years since we had last spoken, but it felt like we had talked just yesterday. I'm glad that I have my friend back in my life again. We had so many adventures together, and even now that we still don't live in the same state, I am grateful to have her in my life, and I feel more complete now. It's so sad to lose track of any friend that was really meaningful in your life. And it's true that sometimes people change, or we can outgrow our friends. But there are times, like this one instance, where your friend will find you or you will find them again, and the years just melt away, and they remind you of how far you have come and how much you have grown as a person. These are the times that you feel grateful to have known them. Have you ever had a long-lost friend come back into your life? How did this make you feel? Let me know in the comments section, and leave 3 heart emojis to the author of this poignant story to show your appreciation to them. If you would like your story read on my channel, please submit your story to karma@karmagetin.com or post to u/Karmagetin on Reddit. All stories will be read anonymously with either initials, descriptions, or pseudonyms only. Thank you again, Pop's Trading Post, for sponsoring this video. If you would like to place an order through Pop's Trading Post, please use discount code Karmagetin, all caps, for a 20% discount at checkout. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Feel free to share with family and friends, and subscribe and hit the bell icon for any new stories to be delivered to you. Also, check out my playlist whenever you have some free time. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And that's my video for today. Remember, do something nice today. Help me change the world.
It's not their turn, it's my turn to shine. Like the rays of the sunlight reaching out my arms.
See you next Tuesday. I firmly believe that there's a lot of good in this world and many kind people out there, as I've been witnessing random small gestures of kindness everywhere I've been. I was at a UPS store and I saw a lady that was struggling with a heavy package. The person behind her had their package on a dolly and offered to let her place her package on top of theirs so she didn't have to carry her box through the long line. I saw a helpful young man that loaded an elderly lady's groceries in her car for her. And I saw a lady insist that a gentleman go ahead of her in line at a grocery store because he only had 3 items and she had 7. To these lovely people, thank you. These good deeds are like seeds that you have planted that will grow and make this world a better place to live in. Have a fabulous day and a wonderful night, and I will see you later.